Okay.
Hello, welcome to the first ever 53rd episode of the Hooniverse Show.
Nearly.
Another name change. It's now called a Hoonie Order.
We're just making random noises now.
You hear me, Jamie?
Me, Lewis.
Me, Brian.
So apologies to
Too
the,
late to apologise.
to the listeners. So I don't have my microphone today.
They've all left. They've gone, Jamie.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't want to
whoa,
listen
what happened to the
anymore.
audio quality, man? No, I couldn't bring it. We had Storm Sierra.
Sierra,
Yeah,
Charlie Tango.
which I'm blaming for the lack of microphone, but technically I have
Okay.
nothing to do with it. I
Okay.
was in such a rush this morning that I forgot.
How did you get into work this morning? Surely your area was underwater.
I love it was.
Yeah.
Actually, but unfortunately the trains were running properly.
No day off work for Jamie.
I was so annoyed.
Yeah,
I was like, I looked at it like, some of the trains cancelled. Yes. But I also live next to a train line.
yeah.
So if I think the trains are cancelled, I'll look out the window and see if I see a train go past. I was like, okay, it's the first train. But it was going with this. Another train goes past, and another train. I'm going to work, aren't I?
Nobody cares. Okay, let's
Nobody
get on
cares,
with the
nobody
podcast.
cares, nobody cares. What's new with you, Lewis?
What's
You
new
didn't
with
come to the podcast last
Previous
week.
podcast. Yeah, I just had things to do. What can I say?
Yeah, specifically.
Specifically, I can't remember, but it was something important at the time.
You were house hunting.
Oh, that's what I was doing. Yes.
What was the house like?
It was rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. It was furnished. They said that we couldn't get rid of the furniture. It was damp, mouldy, horrible. Yeah, it was just horrible. Like most places in Leeds.
I wouldn't know. I own my house. Brian, what's new with you?
Sorry, Mr.
I've not been
Middle
house
Class.
hunting.
I'm not middle class.
Nothing wrong with owning your own house.
Hmm?
Nothing wrong with owning your own
There's
house.
nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with marrying a girl who's got her own house either. Oh,
But
God. Yeah. I had a weird dream last night. I know we don't often do this, but I dreamt we were doing a live show. Hundreds of people turn up.
Were you naked?
No.
Oh, that's
No.
just grim.
They were all naked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when we get a lot of podcasts, the more popular ones, you know, when they reach milestones in their episodes, we do a live show of the podcast, a live recording, in front of a live audience, obviously. And that's something we could do in the future. In front of, we'll get like 2 people in.
Yeah.
We'll hear, like, the random applause will be.
More bar staff.
Yeah.
In fact, more podcasters than audience.
Yeah. See if Kirby will fly out to meet us.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to fly out. She's based in
Oh,
the
I
UK.
thought Kirby was American.
If
Sorry,
I
Kirby.
remember rightly, I'm sorry, Kirby. I've got a horrible memory, but I think Kirby Lloyd is from Nottingham.
Is she?
I think so.
Yeah, my memory's shot as well. So sorry, Kirby.
Get in
if we-
touch. Let us know where you're from.
Kirby's not actually written in for a little while.
She hasn't. No.
Well, she did write a tweet the other day that she was catching up on all our podcasts.
Okay.
right,
Which is
that makes
nice.
sense,
Yeah, which probably makes sense. That's why she's not written in.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just doesn't like us. Like, these guys are boring.
Yeah.
They've sang me happy birthday. I'm
done with this now.
It kind of died down. She kind of stopped writing it out. Did happy birthdays. Like, this is too embarrassing. And two, there's more of me in the podcast than there is of them. So, Doctor Who was on last night.
It certainly was.
What did you think?
I was
Well,
a bit.
Where do you
I was
start?
a bit meh about the whole
Really?
thing, to be honest.
Oh, you don't- I thought it was really good.
It's just not cool going around sticking your fingers in people's ears, mate.
I should
It's
point
weird.
I should point out I was actually on the stag do on Saturday night.
were
so
you
that may
going
be
around
my-
sticking
so
your
my-
fingers in people's
No.
ears.
So that may have contributed to my sort of listlessness. If that's the
I'd
word.
go
Yeah.
as far as saying, personally, but writing-wise, I'd say it's the best episode of Tribunal Zero. Not the best episode overall, but the best written episode. It had loads of branching stories. Yas finally got the character development actually needed to be a relevant character. The only one left now is really Ryan, who falls over a lot.
Yeah.
Graham's an already amazing character to kind of understand what his ambitions, why he travels. It's sort of like to mask his grief. And sort of understand who Yaz is as well, but...
I think they concentrated too much on the message and not enough on the storytelling.
What was the message?
The message was about mental health.
Yeah, and seek help,
speak to people. Yeah, and that's all
it's
fine.
An important message.
Good and an important message.
That.
But yeah, I don't agree with you that it was the best written episode, because the thing is that episode could have easily been a 2-parter and could have been a lot better. I think that the resolution happened too quickly, and we're talking about gods here, or beings that have the power of gods. And the Doctor
this is typical Doctor Who, where we've got an amazing story, and then
locks them away.
The last 10 minutes is when everything happens. That's typical classic Doctor Who, where you're watching the 6-parter, and then you get to the final episode, well, this could have been one episode.
But that could have easily been a 2-parter, and we were promised, a bit more longevity in the story arcs this season and everything. I hope that this gets revisited and not just shelved, into the annals of the Doctor Who archive, because it is a good storyline and there is more development to have had. Where did the technology come from? It came from the 2 planets. Who were these people that seem to have the similar style of technology as the Time Lords?
We know they're from an alternate dimension.
So, yeah.
Similar to the weird light things.
Yeah.
In the first episode. And the Doctor in Return of the Judoon.
Yeah.
Prisoner of the Judoon.
Yeah.
Escapee of the Judoon.
Yeah.
What was it called?
The Fugitive of the
Judoon.
Is that what it is?
Platoon on the moon, near a lagoon.
So after we came away from that episode, I think that episode of the podcast, I think we said that the Doctor had somehow passed over into another universe or something like that. But I think this new Doctor passed over into our universe. But I think it's more likely that the Doctor has passed over into another universe, but that's neither here nor there, because we're not here to talk about that episode now.
Wouldn't it be fantastic if they just never referenced it again?
Yeah, and that's it.
But it was just Jenny all over again, wouldn't it?
The thing is, there's a lot of things happening in this season, but there's no conclusion to these things. How many episodes do we have left? Is it 12 episodes this season?
10, I think. I think we're on to 4 now.
We'll be coming more into that later on anyway.
When is the payoff? When are we going to see,
the last 2 episodes?
Is that what it is? Are we going to have a 2-parter, which is...
Well, we'll come to that later on,
okay,
when we do the topic of the Who cast. But so, you must have liked the Praxeus.
Praxeus?
You must have liked it.
Oh,
no, you must have liked Can You Hear Me?
Yeah, no, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought that it was a really good storyline. I just thought that it was too rushed. I thought that there was a lot more to tell about the 2 gods, and I thought that the Doctor had too easy of a time locking them away again. There was no sort of struggle there. It was just sort of like, oh yes, we've got this thing, we're going to put you back in, bang, there you go.
Yeah, I would like a bit more continuity in my Doctor Who, but I'm also really enjoying these stories that we've been getting in Doctor Who lately. This is like the best Britica series.
Yeah.
And I think people look back on these episodes and think, wow, they were brilliant.
I think
it's almost as if Chibnall's listened to us.
He's like, I'm not Jar Jar anymore.
I'm called Jar Jar Chibnall. My name is Chris.
I think though they've taken the original message of Doctor Who, which is you should be more, you should strive to be a better person in life, and they've changed it to a more political and PC message instead.
Yeah.
Getting out messages about racism, about mental health and all sorts of other things within Chibnall's tenure. So there are people who don't like this. There are people who like it. There are people like me who are like, well, either way, But meh.
So
maybe I do need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I would.
It's definitely worth a rewatch. Yeah. I've watched it a couple. I think I've watched it about 3 times now.
Yeah,
and I keep noticing things I didn't notice before. It's a timeless episode. It's just brilliant. It's
What did you think about the horror element to it? You know, the creepiness of the
it was
characters.
just a perfect blend of future, past, and present. Like you had a perfect blend of all three aspects of what we love about Doctor Who. Perfect time travel episode where we go across the stars and see different wonders and like, hey, we've got two planets colliding. What's stopping them colliding? And you're like, your mind starts racing. It's just amazing. I absolutely loved it.
At first, you think something Time Lord is going on, don't you? That's what I felt anyway. You know, when you see the two planets and they've been suspended in that animation, it's like the Heart of Harmony, which is suspended.
And you found it was just this little ball in the middle stopping worlds colliding. I mean, you find out later on those two worlds were being messed up by those godlike creatures.
Yeah, and they'd sacrifice their worlds to
destroy them.
To imprison them. Yeah.
And now they're both imprisoned.
Yeah, they are. But a prison that was meant for one, being able to contain two, how long is that going to last?
How would you rate the episode, Brian?
Um,
Out of 4?
Probably a 2. But
A 2?
That was in my very, very hungover state.
Just watch it again.
So I promise I'll watch it again before next week, and I'll return with a proper review.
I'll give it a 3. I think there's improvements to be made, but it was a good, solid storyline. Just needed more of it and needed more explanation. It has to. Who's that?
Yeah, so I give it a 4. It was daily.
You just give anything a 4. You know, you're like. I think if you went back and listened to every episode as it's coming out, I would pretty much guarantee you every one of those episodes has a 4.
I'll give it a 4. I didn't give Open 55 a 4. I gave it a 2.
I'm sure you gave it a 4.
It's just got all the rewatchability that I'd want from an episode.
He gave it a 4.
It's a good episode. I really enjoyed it. It's a storytelling masterpiece. Okay. Oh, Lewis, you got somewhere to go, haven't you?
Somewhere to go?
Yeah.
Like what?
So we're on to voting in the TARDIS. See you later, Lewis.
What
Bye-bye.
if Sergei is outside? Can
Oh.
send him in.
Hello!
Oh, hey, Sergey! How's it going?
I can't complain.
I'm so sorry about last week. You sounded a bit ill.
Hey! Who was voicing me last week, eh?
No one voices you, you're just you.
You're real.
I'm real? I'm a real boy!
So, we got the votes in for Praxius listener votes. So, you have 63 votes, which is quite low compared to usual. I was trying something new, which I tried again this week, which I won't be doing again. But 63 votes, 1 star 17%, 2 stars 17%, 3 stars 43%, and 4 stars 23%. I think Sergey, did Lewis do some calculations for what that score would be?
No, he did not. It should be around about 2.8.
Around about, but you don't actually know.
No.
Okay. We only got one comment this week. Sergey, if you could read it out from @ex-Gallifreyan Gal, who's a regular writer on this recently.
Hello, ex-Gallifreyan Gal. I actually meant to click 3, but clicked 4 by accident. Oh no! Finally, one of the companions has done something off their own back. He has actually tried to help out being told what to do. Without being told what to do. Even if she did get it a bit poopy from the beginning. Wrong, laugh out loud. Still a bit preachy? Preachy?
Sergey, can you not read?
No, I am
how's
from
the education?
Russia.
To be fair, English is his second language.
Oh, yeah, that's true. How's the educational system in Serbia right now, Sergey?
Hey, better than here.
You piece of poo. Go away, no one wants you
Go
here.
sleep with grandma's goat.
Lewis! Come back!
Stop talking this country down. Because of people like you,
Yo.
Brexit's going to fail.
What?
Oh, hey, Lewis.
Hey, how's it going?
You just missed Sergey.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll catch up with him
Never
later.
catch them together, do you?
No.
So, it was an interesting. Well, it was an interesting comment. Gallifreyan Gal, make sure you know who you're voting, what you're voting for before you click
there's
it.
no take backs, unfortunately.
You ever had take backs until you press the tweet button.
Yeah.
You know, so it's her own fault. She messed up.
She done wrong.
So, topic of the Who cast. The next episode, The Haunting of Villa Diodati. Preview.
I think I've pretty much got this down word for word on my news.
All right. Well, I'll read the IMDb's description.
Yeah, because you pulled it off our IMDb.
Villa Diodati, 1816. On a night that inspired Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the plan was to spend the evening with presence of literary greats, but the ghosts are all too real, and the Doctor is forced into an earth-shattering decision. Go. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like one of the horror episodes that's coming up, which is strange to have two creepy
the last one
episodes
was a very
back to
horror
back.
episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's strange for them to do that, but
There's a part where Ryan's seen wearing a top hat.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the clip, but I was watching it at dinner today, so I didn't really get. Was it where the Doctor companions and the other guy stood there and like looking scared?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
But I thought the last one was a really scary one. Harvesting people's nightmares.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
it sounds like a good episode.
Well,
I've got
it's
more information on it.
It's going to be a ghost story. Yeah, basically, it ties into the news. This one. So it looks like they're going to be dealing with Claire Claremont.
We can come back to it if it ties into the news if you want.
Well, we can go over it and then we don't have to do the news. There you go.
All right.
So a couple of bits of information about it. Nicholas Briggs. I don't know whether you had a look at the the cast while you were trawling through IMDb for that review, but Nicholas Briggs is voicing the Cyberman's voice in it. Possibly expanded on the lone Cyberman, thing that was going on a bit earlier in the series.
We'll have more on that very soon
with
as well.
Captain Jack's warning. So maybe this is going to tie in with earlier stories. Not 100% sure. It's just that is just basically back off the back of seeing that on IMDb, seeing him as a character on IMDb for this
I've
episode.
got a rumour about that as well, but I'll save it for the news.
So it could be a 3-part finale.
So Claire Claremont was basically the sister, the stepsister of Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. She seems to be in this episode. Now, more recently, it's been found that her father is actually Sir John Lethbridge. So I don't know whether they're going to, she is part of the Lethbridge family, and they're going to sort of include that in there. The Lethbridge Stewarts.
Yeah, it's so nice to keep trying to beat that dead horse,
Yeah.
Like how the original one died. It's alright, he's got a daughter now.
Well, he did come back as a Cyberman, didn't he?
Oh, yeah,
he did.
The Capaldi era.
Yeah.
So could he be the lone Cyberman?
Possibly, but
We'll come back around to that. There is a rumour.
Yeah.
Put it out, could be considered for news.
Are you the lone Cyberman, Jamie?
Well, the following episodes have been named. So we now have the names for all the next Doctor Who episodes. So obviously we've got The Haunting of Villa Diodati.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Hey.
And then the episode after that is got to be Ascension of the Cybermen.
That seems more...
And then the finale is called The Timeless Children.
Sort of the Timeless Child bit.
Yeah, well, it implies there's more than one.
The Time Lords.
Which would mean taking it into news time a little bit. New news that way. News.
No, that was all I had on the...
I have a Master and a Doctor related. I'm both for Timeless Children.
Are the Timeless Children
Dum dum dum.
the Time Lords themselves, and
Yeah.
they actually have the ability to regenerate all the time and not just...
Now, there's two working theories for the Lone Cyberman. The first one is that the Lone Cyberman is actually an upgraded Master. And you remember how we thought those light things were all Cybermen? and that they were actually something to do with Cyberman, and that's what happened to the master when he got taken away.
Yeah, they were very similar with the to the Cybermen who did an army of ghosts, weren't they?
Mm.
The Master would never allow that, though. He would never allow
Only
himself
choice.
to become Yeah, but he's the Master. Come on, like he's like the evil version of the Doctor.
And he got taken into an alternate dimension with no way back.
Getting
And he was forced.
So the only way back is for you to be upgraded.
Yeah. The other one is that Yaz is the lone Cyberman, and the fact that it's Yaz that is trapped in Cyberman's body,
Well, there was
which then forces the Doctor to listen to his demands.
There was the rumours that one of the companions was
Would
going
die.
to die in this season. So
And I think it's Yaz.
just when we started to get to know her.
Well, there's been a lot of talk in the most recent episode where we're talking about everyone else says the same, but we keep growing older and stuff. It's like we're living on a different
Yeah. Brian's
plane. Like, when will it all end?
Yeah.
And then, like, Yes, Chekhov's good, like saying, we will decide when it ends, sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
maybe she will decide she'll be in charge of her own destiny, sort of thing.
I don't think Graham kind of cares about it because Graham's sort of like he's like an end-of-lifer, isn't he?
He's very in touch with his mortality.
He knows he hasn't got too much longer left, and he doesn't care as to.
I don't believe he'll be the Cyberman.
He's got no sort of ties that bind him to present day, so he's good to travel with the Doctor. But yeah, Yaz and Ryan are very much young, and
I think all the Doctor's Time Lords have been, all the Doctor's companions have been very young.
yeah.
For the last 53 years.
I think it introduced with Amy and Rory the idea that the companions were aging at a greater rate than the peers, though. So there's some sort of emotional weight on that as well, isn't there? That everybody's staying the same age, but they're gaining like I don't know 10 years in the TARDIS. If you could go off in the TARDIS, how long would you stay? How long would you? Because
it doesn't matter how long you stay, because
Yeah,
Doctor can always bring you back.
But realistically, you would pass a certain amount of your life by going on adventures in the TARDIS. So you would be losing out on whatever life you had here. Even though you would see X amount, you'd be confirmed dead at a much younger age than
No, I do.
linearly.
I do it differently.
So how would you deal with it?
Well, I do it differently. I do it the same way as like when I go on holiday. You go away for 2 weeks and you come back 2 weeks later. So if I've been the Earth equivalent of like a month from the TARDIS, I'd ask to be brought back a month later.
Yeah.
So it's like I've just been gone a month.
So why does no one ever think about that when like?
Because it's Chibnall, Rock Lewis. It's Jar Jar Chibnall. He had to create issues.
Well, it seems that it seems that what is it? Yaz and Ryan are spending time away from their homes.
Yeah.
Because Yaz has gone on sabbatical, and Ryan's friends are telling him that he's never about. So he is coming back later.
Don't they both have jobs, don't they?
Yeah.
Yaz is a trainee policewoman, and Ryan works in a warehouse.
Yeah.
None of their employees thought.
Oh no, Ryan ended up quitting his job in the first episode,
Did he?
didn't he, of season 11, I thought.
12. No, 11.
No,
yeah.
11, yeah. So,
Yeah, because I remember in Kablam, he said, I used to work in a warehouse.
yeah.
I don't know what he does now. I think he's just unemployed.
Yeah, bum.
And
One
Graham's a
of
retired
Thatcher's
bus
children.
driver.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Say what? One of Factor's children?
Yes.
What does that mean?
The nation of the unemployed because of Margaret Thatcher.
I don't understand. This is before my time.
Yes, it is.
Do you know who Margaret Thatcher was, Jamie?
She was a model.
She made Mr. Whippy ice cream.
Oh, I love her.
Okay.
Was that her husband's name?
Mr. Whippy.
She made her
Very
husband.
possible.
She made her husband Mr. Whippy all over her. Anyway,
Jake.
Moving on.
moving on. So, is there anything? Have we got anything decent from the news? Because I know there's not that much. to
No,
go through.
that was it. Pretty much just going over those details about the next episode, who'll be in it, and what's going on with that.
On that bombshell.
Is it time?
There was-
Yeah,
Well,
well,
the best part of the show.
we don't have an email this week. Well, we did, I just didn't get the chance to write it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to
Wait,
paste
what's
it in.
this then?
Oh, well, that's last week's.
Oh, was it? Right.
Actually, you weren't here last week, so you could answer it anyway.
No, what's that? What you say?
So, we'll come back to it. We'll do Universal
Right,
Hogwash.
okay. Composure.
Universal Hogwash, Universal Hogwash, is it real or is it fake? Universal Hogwash. Who won last time?
Brian, was it? Yeah.
More than likely.
I think you won last time, I won the time before, so we won all
Mhm.
so far.
It's not 1-all though, is it? One person has more points.
Well, are you keeping score?
Yes, that's how it works.
No, I mean, are you keeping the scores?
Yeah.
So you've got a scoreboard that says how many points Brian got and how many points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Person with most points at the end of the year.
Got a certificate.
Might be an actual trophy next time.
The coveted Universal Hogwash Trophy. Right.
Who's going first? Have you decided among yourselves?
Well,
I
Brian
will
won,
let
so
Lewis
I...
go first.
Oh look, the champion's letting you go first, Lewis.
Right.
Because he doesn't need the advantage. He needs to give himself a handicap so he gets a challenge.
Needs to give himself a hand.
The Shakespeare Code. The Doctor takes Martha to London in 1599, where Shakespeare's new play is being used by 3 witches in an evil plan. That's what old Bernard wrote, so...
It's...
Once again, I haven't wrote these.
Hogwash Universe.
Universe.
It is Universe. This is episode 2 of season 3 of New Who.
Yeah, I thought the name was off though. I didn't think it was called that.
Brian! The Wooden Heart. Martha and the Doctor discover an apparently deserted starship, and soon a village appears in the middle of the craft as they try to work out the mystery of a village and its connection to the ship. They find out that the village has other problems. Fog and monsters surround them at every turn, and their children have been going missing.
Hogwash Universe.
Hogwash.
You get 1 point, Brian. You get 0 points, Lewis.
Really?
I was a little concerned about this one. It's Universe. This is a novel written by Martin Day in 2007.
It's so much like one of the episodes of...
It's so much like a book you got me just last Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lewis gave me a pile of Doctor Who books last week,
Yeah.
and inside that pile
Was that
was a book called The Wooden Heart, and I even said to him,
Oh.
"That's in you remember? I said to you, that's in Universe Hogwash, and I have to remove that now." And he goes, oh.
Yeah.
Just leave it in.
Just shows
I
how
did.
much I pay attention to Jamie. Doesn't it?
Lewis. Legend of Time. It's the end of the Time War, and the Doctor has to lead a dangerous mission to ensure the survival of the Time Lords.
Hogwash.
Okay. Brian.
Universe Hogwash.
Is it real? Is it prank? Hogwash. Whoa. Didn't you get 1 point? Is it Universe Hogwash?
Universe Hogwash, you do.
I love someone's paying attention.
Right.
4-3.
This is that was a 2008 animated adventure called Dog to Who, where all our favourite characters are replaced by canines, and I recommend it. It's a good little cartoon.
Don't you do one of the voices?
I did do one of the voices, yeah. It was fun. Like 10 years ago. Brian. Stranded. The TARDIS is gone. stranded in one time and place. The Doctor, Liv, and Helen seek refuge in Baker Street. But the house has changed. They now have neighbours, not all of them welcoming. Sounds like where I live. And someone has a dire warning for the future. The Doctor and friends face their greatest challenge yet, living one day after another in 2020 London.
Hogwash Universe.
Okay.
What was the name of the
Stranded.
Universe Hogwash?
It's Universe.
1 point apiece.
What's the score?
5-4.
It's very close. Lewis! Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it was an audio drama by Big Finish, featuring Paul McGann as the Doctor. It's a more recent one. It's actually due to be released as well.
So I probably mentioned it a couple of weeks ago when going through all the audio dramas.
You mentioned it exactly 2 months ago.
Did I?
Yeah, when it was being recorded.
Nice.
So you talk about Paul McGann's
I just
return.
mentioned I was listening to an audio story on my phone. I was getting very confused and unable to follow the plot, and then I realised I had it on shuffle.
Excellent.
Was it Doctor Who one?
Yeah.
Like, it was in pieces and it just it kept shuffling to the...
Well, you could see you were travelling.
Yeah.
Lewis!
Yeah.
Flight of the Daleks. Revolving around a peculiar young boy who went missing in the woods and turns up 8 years later appearing not to have aged a day. However, he has come back with a new friend, the Doctor, and has been helping him pilot the TARDIS in an effort to escape the Daleks, and now the government.
I'd say that's Hogwash.
Right.
I was thinking Hogwash originally,
Mm.
but for the sake of fairness, I'm going to say Hogwash Universe.
Why is that?
Was that the plot line to Flight of the Navigator?
It is Hogwash. This
Yeah.
is the plotline of Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in ages as well.
That makes it a draw.
Oh.
Look at that. The champ's giving you freebies, Lewis.
Yeah, I haven't seen that film.
So,
I'm
what
gonna
was
go
that,
home and
6
watch
all?
Flight of the
6
Navigator.
all.
6-all. So, Lewis. So
Yeah.
we got an email last week. What we were wanting to answer.
Okay.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds wrote in.
Excellent, Lucy. Love the Beatles
Well,
reference.
but we're doing remember we were doing books, you know.
Yeah.
So now we're doing songs.
Songs.
I think we're just doing whatever comes to my mind. really.
Yeah, if it goes, if it's like...
Don't forget, you too can write in. You can email in at thehoonivershow@gmail.com or DM us on our Twitter at Hoonivershow. Excuse me, got hiccups. Lucy from Scary Diamonds writes, Lucy here, hailing from Exeter. My question for a troublesome trio is, which Doctor Who episode or story do you wish had gone on for longer? Personally, I always wanted to know what Rose got up to after the heartbreaking episode. So what episode did you really enjoy but you just didn't want to end, basically?
Well, definitely not the Rose episode, I'm sorry, Lucy, but Jesus, anything with Rose in it, I wish it had ended a lot quicker. Let's see, episodes that went on, that I felt could have gone on longer. No, that wouldn't have really made a better plot line. Well, earlier on I was talking about this newest episode, which I believe should have gone on longer. We should have had more information about the gods, and there should have been more of a struggle in that episode.
I can tell you what I picked if you want.
Possibly.
I chose the Return of Doctor Mysterio.
Yeah.
I'd have loved that to be like a 10-parter or something.
Or possibly a spin-off.
Or just a spin-off.
Just make a spin-off.
It was just such a good story. I really enjoyed
I
it.
think I just agreed with you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Angels Take Manhattan would have been a really good
Ooh,
one
that was
to
a really
extend,
good
but
one, yeah.
it was so heartbreaking, you know, like you just...
It's like, how long do you want to cry for?
Yeah, exactly. Angels Take Manhattan, I would... What about the Pandorica, if that had been a few more episodes?
But a lot of the Matt Smith episodes, I think, were like perfectly paced. In fact, they don't really need to be longer. Like if we were to make us any longer, you'd lose the magic of those episodes. That's how I personally feel anyway.
What about Capaldi's episodes then? What episode would have been good in Capaldi's to extend?
You know, what episode where we're going through like time, but building
what, like most
is like it's just so big. But as you're traveling through the building, you go into different periods of time. As it's escaping the Cyberman.
No.
Where the Master kills herself.
Or himself.
Or himself. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
It was a finale
Yeah.
to Capaldi's...
Oh yeah.
It was across 2 episodes.
Yeah, basically there's
and
a
it could
there's
very
a
well
black
have
hole at
been
the front end of the show.
like a whole extra series. It was just that good. Like to have an episode based on every single layer that they went through to escape the Cybermen.
It's talking about time dilation due to gravity of a supermassive black hole, isn't it? You know,
I'd say it's some of Moffat's cleverest writing.
Yeah, it's an interesting one and theoretically true as well. You know, like time would be bent in that way.
So, what episode are you choosing?
Yeah, I think that episode could have possibly gone on a bit longer. That story arc, though. I really can't think of a single Capaldi one other than that really would have done. What about Whittaker? Let's think. There's this newest one, but what you know the last, was it the penultimate episode of the 11th season with the 2 people who were there to look after the planet, and they had those godlike powers, whatever they were. That could have had a bit more to it.
Yeah,
I think that. What was it called, that episode? Something. It had a weird alien name, didn't it? Like, I don't know.
Battle of Rank Squad of Colossus.
That's the one there. So I felt that storyline could have picked up and gone on for a bit more time.
So before we move on to the last part of the show, Brian would like to say a few words.
I was just going through Facebook this morning, and there was a post from someone called Claire Lilly.
Yeah. Hi Claire, if you're listening.
Hi Claire, if you're listening. She said she's going to listen, and her son's a big fan of Doctor Who.
Oh really? What's her son's name?
He's called Alex.
Hi Alex, how old's Alex?
16.
16 years old?
Yes. Alex is autistic.
Oh.
And unfortunately he's had his entire DVD collection of Doctor Who stolen.
Okay.
Claire, you might want to turn off the podcast at this point, because I don't know if he knows or not, but it's been stolen by his dad.
Oh my goodness.
So if any of our listeners have any spare DVDs or anything connected with Doctor Who, can you get in touch with Claire and offer to get it to her, or if you live around the Bolton area, she will drive up and collect it.
It's from Bolton?
Yes.
How far is Bolton from Yorkshire?
It's probably about a 50-minute drive.
50-minute drive?
Yeah.
Lewis, you drive, don't you?
No.
Brian, you drive, don't you?
I do.
Okay, Brian's driving.
I'm driving to Claire's house when
Brian's
we drop
driving,
stuff off.
yeah.
Claire said she will collect, so...
From Yorkshire?
From Yorkshire.
I'm
I'm going to put the screenshot on my Twitter feed.
I'll pull up a few things that I've got at home and bring them into.
We'll get them to you somehow, Claire.
Well, my wife has agreed to start running the Facebook page, so we're working out the logistics of that. So my wife supports the podcast, Lewis, you see. And so what we'll do is we'll get it on there as well, and hopefully we'll build an audience on Facebook as well, so we can sort of, if something gets posted on there, you know it gets found, noticed by Whovians who are likely to have spare Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm talking. He loves all the classic era as well.
That's so rare as well for the younger audience.
Yeah.
I guess to him, Eccleston is classic Who as well. Because it's 16, so Eccleston would have been 5.
No, he'd have been
2005. It started.
He'd have been 1 in 2005.
So yeah, Eccleston's classic Who to him. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
when I was born, Doctor Who was cancelled. So
I've got it out there on as many forums on Facebook as well. I'm getting lots of replies. People said they'll send stuff to.
Oh, that's so nice.
Excellent. Yeah, I've got a few bits and bobs I can chip in, as I say. I'll bring them into you.
Well, I'll message
through as well.
Message Claire to let her know.
Yeah.
So, well,
poor Alex.
Bit of a downer to end the show on, but
No, it's
Well, it's a good thing that
It's
that
a good
the
thing that we're
community
doing
comes
trying to get
together.
trying to get things sorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Right.
So you can Alex can start listening again now.
yeah. How come the listeners find Alex's the play online to get the details?
Well, I'll put a screenshot on my Twitter feed.
So,
Which you can find at
I'm Beach007
and we'll also be retweeting it on the Hooniverse Show
at Hooniverse
at
Show.
Hooniverse Show on Twitter, and Lewis exists on Twitter somewhere.
Yeah,
yeah, try
Three
finding
Little
me.
Ducks or something
Yeah.
like
You can find my Twitter account I changed it, SMX Show. And you can also email us at thehooniverseshow@gmail.com. Big thanks to Zip Farm for making our logo.
that. Cheers, it for
Yeah, what do you think Zip Farm does, Lewis?
Well, you know, like obviously bathing in the in the juices of zits. You know,
You know the
she does.
I need to ask you know the blackhead at the end of a zit, you know the giant ones? If you
Yeah.
pull the blackhead, does it come out like a big long spaghetti?
Yeah.
You sort of like
yeah.
roll it on.
Very nice.
Mm,
Do you
yeah.
think? Do you think she miniaturizes herself and jumps into the zit? So she swims around in the zit juice there.
It's a service that you have to pay for, I imagine.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just does it as a hobby and it's like, I'm happy to.
Yeah. I'm happy to zit it up. Yeah.
So, yeah, on that juicy finale,
Hey,
you've been listening to the Hooniverse Show.
have
Have
a
a
week.
Shut up, Lewis.